Welcome to the Stuff and Things Podcast, your home for all stuff related to your favorite things in entertainment. Now, here are your hosts.
Hello everybody and welcome back to a new episode of the Stuff and Things Podcast. I am Sam. Today, the title of the episode is The Streaming Wars. Basically, we're going to be discussing streaming TV versus network TV, how it came about, where we are, and the quite obvious battle that's going on between all of the associated companies that are involved, and a little bit of history as well, which would be fun. Joining me to have that chat, it's my partner in crime, it's Stefan.
Hello there. How we doing?
Now, if you're going to start the show saying hello there, is this the mood we're setting straight away? Going to be naughty again this week?
No, we've probably behaved a little bit more than we did. We'll see. We'll see where it happens. Let's just see.
We will see.
See where it goes.
For anyone who's joining us for the first time, hello there, hello and welcome. For anyone who's coming back to us after the hiatus, or you listened the last few weeks, well, thank you. We've had some fun. We've talked about topics so far, which is the MCU done? That certainly went well. And then I think the one that got us the most love so far is obviously, does anyone hate Star Wars more than Star Wars fans? Where, of course, during that show, we did discuss the now very infamous "hello there" joke, which got us in trouble. Which is still kind of funny. And now we've just decided, screw it, we're in trouble. We might as well stay there.
Might as well have some fun with it.
Yeah, 100%. I did also try and create this week using Google Gemini an actual video to demonstrate the hello there maneuver that we created.
Yep.
Sort of worked, but the voiceover on that thing just isn't right. I do think that if I find the time later on, I might actually splice in a proper Obi-Wan hello there and see if it works.
That'd be fun.
It could be, and if it is, I'll stick it up on our socials. Well, the TikTok probably, because that's the one I can get away with most nonsense. But yeah, you can find us on all the socials other than X, which should still be called Twitter, because it's a hellscape. But you can find us on TikTok, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram. The Instagram, I need to link it back to the Facebook. That's admin. We're doing that live on the podcast, but yeah, remind me about that.
I will.
But yeah, so, mate, one of the things we're going to talk about on a regular basis, obviously things we're watching. I haven't been able to get to the cinema at all. Have you been able to get out and watch anything of late?
Do you know what? I finally did. I finally managed to get out and see the new Jurassic Park movie.
Oh, now you are a Jurassic Park aficionado. For anyone who listens will know that, but anyone who's new to us, Stefan, you love the Jurassic Park franchise.
I do indeed. I'm a massive. I'm actually sat today wearing my Jurassic Park t-shirt. There's a coincidence.
Very nice.
Cool things.
Well,
That little moment where I suddenly go, wait a minute, open my jacket and go, I am wearing that top. Yeah.
It's better than opening it going, I forgot to put clothes on.
Opening up, hello, no.
Stop.
I got to finally see it. I was very annoyed with myself that it took a bit of time more than I wanted it to go and see it.
You have a lot of kids now.
I know, kids and work does not add up to regular cinema trips, let's be honest.
No.
But yeah, I saw the movie, really, really enjoyed it. I don't want to give out too many spoilers.
Yeah.
What I will say is very, very good action thriller movie.
Yeah.
Very good for that. If you took away the name Jurassic Park and you took away the little bit of the theme music that plays a couple of times during it, it would still be a really good action thriller movie.
Okay.
If you took away... Now, okay, my problem with Jurassic Park is that the first 3 Jurassic Parks were all about dinosaurs. You kind of feel that's where you should be with Jurassic Park, right?
That would seem to be the core premise of the film.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then you got the fourth one, which I thought was a brilliant movie because I finally got to see, like, the park open with people walking around and stuff. And obviously it turns into a disaster movie, but
Yeah, I'd say the
moment
fourth
in
one,
the cinema where the camera pans up and you see Jurassic Park actually open with people and the music's playing, that was like, for me, lump in the throat moment.
Well, isn't the fourth one the one with Chris Pratt?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a reimagining of the first one in like this now Jurassic World built over the top of the original Jurassic Park, and
That's it. Yeah.
so it
yeah.
had like nostalgia plus new. But it was. I like the fourth one. Yeah, I really.
And they're
enjoyed
kind of
that.
adding this new hybrid that they've kind of made, and I was like,
total balls
okay,
up, yeah.
as a one-off, fair enough. Okay, fine, I understand what they're getting at.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fifth one came out, and it was kind of all about this hybridy sort of thing, and I'm like, right, okay, not 100% on board with this.
Yeah.
And then the sixth one came out, and I was like, where are the dinosaurs? Like,
Yeah.
you've forgotten what the movie is about here, people.
Well, it seemed to me that the focus shifted from dinosaurs to just a debate around cloning.
Pretty much, yep. And I was kind of I left the cinema and was like, so disappointed.
Yeah.
I was like, what have they done? And then this one came out, and I was a little bit nervous.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I was like, they're reimagining it again for what they're saying is going to be like a new trilogy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, it's got Scarlett Johansson in it. Like, okay, I can get on board with most things.
And it's worth pointing out as well that she's a massive Jurassic Park fan.
Yeah, this was kind of like a real honour for her to be in.
Yeah, I saw her doing a few interviews, and they were like asking her like, "Oh, we'll give you some trivia then on the original film," and she was like nailing it.
Yeah,
like,
go on then. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other actors that are in it, I can't remember names because I'm rubbish with names, but you've got the guy from the new Wicked films, and he was in Bridgerton. He's a really good actor.
Okay.
You've also got, I believe it's the guy that's meant to be playing Blade. That has never actually come out yet.
Oh, Tatiana Mali.
I think it's him. I'm sure it's him that's in it.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to check that now because we might need to edit that out. But
Yep.
the casting was really good, and I was excited.
Yeah.
And I got there, and I watched the film, and I was like, yeah, do you know what? That was a really damn good movie. Like, thank goodness. The only downside, I will say, is the big bad. Like, in the first ones, the big bad was always the T-Rex.
Yeah.
Well, the big bad in this is some weird, again, hybrid monster thing. And the very start of the film, you find out about it. And then at the very end of the film, it finally reveals itself and all this, yeah?
Yeah, hang on. I'm just going to interject very quickly. You were absolutely correct. It is him in the film. But I butchered his name, and I genuinely am not sure how to pronounce it. It's Mahershala Ali.
I think that's correct.
I'm saying that wrong. I'm sorry. That's just me. I'm from Bristol, and we butcher names. Sorry, mate. Go on. You were saying.
Yeah, if you were to take out the big bad monster thing, and that isn't in the movie at all, the movie doesn't change.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's...
And I was like, for me, that was a positive, because I hate the fact they're like, we've made it. I mean, this thing looks like it should be out of an Alien vs Predator movie.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And I'm like, I find things like a raptor or a T-Rex genuinely more terrifying than whatever that thing was.
Yeah. Did you know, I did think this in the fourth film, because I thought to myself, are they actually pointing at the audience here and kind of mocking it a little bit? But the way they've gone on since then would suggest that no. But do you remember in the fourth one when Chris Pratt's character was like, what the hell are you doing creating this monster?
Yep.
And they were like, oh, people come to the park, they want to see bigger, toofier. And it's like, do you think that actually that was like trying to mirror up the cinematic audience, which is saying like, yeah, just regular dinosaurs aren't going to cut it anymore. They saw that back in the 90s.
They double down in this.
Yeah.
They actually double down on it.
Oh, okay.
And they talk in this about how in this movie, no one cares. Basically, the dinosaurs were roaming the earth again.
Yeah.
But due to difference in climate, air quality, etc., they've basically died out everywhere, apart from pretty much on the band of the equator.
Yeah.
That's the only place that has the right conditions for the dinosaurs to survive in.
Yeah.
And basically, no one cares about them anymore. Like, they've gone from being...
Yeah.
Everyone cares about dinosaurs because they died millions of years ago.
Yeah.
To now, it's like going to the zoo and everyone's like, yeah, great, look, that's a dinosaur, whatever.
Honestly, mate, as horrible as that sounds, I think that's probably the most accurate thing in these films.
Yeah. And it probably is true. So that's why they were making bigger and better. That's why they started, like, So in this one, instead of cloning with each other, they were crossbreeding to make hybrids of each other, sort of thing.
Yeah, the image of a T-Rex and a raptor going at it, I mean, that's just going to hurt one of them.
Exactly.
Anyway.
But
mate, well, I'm glad
very,
you
very
enjoyed
good
it.
film. I very much
Yeah,
enjoyed it.
I am glad. It's one that I'll definitely watch when it comes out. And it will undoubtedly hit some streaming platform or another. Oh, wait a minute. Speaking of streaming platforms, the subject this week is the streaming wars. That was seamless. No one would even realise I did that. Yeah, thanks, man. The streaming wars is an interesting topic for me. I have got something for you, actually. I did this as a treat for you. Right, you ready?
Yeah.
Begun. The streaming wars has.
Anyway, that's very nerdy. Hopefully people like that. It is very interesting because Netflix was kind of the original, right?
Yep.
Netflix had now a lot of people listening, younger, may have their ears prick up to this. Netflix started as a home delivery service for DVDs.
Yes.
Yeah. You would go onto their website, you'd pick the film you want to watch, they would post you the DVD, you'd watch it, you would then return it, and, that's the way you went.
It was like Blockbusters, but without having to leave your house.
Exactly, that's what
For
it was.
people listening, Blockbusters was a video rental store back mainly in the 90s to early 2000s. There were others that tried to copy them, but none worked as well. You could walk into this lovely big blue and yellow building, choose
like
any game or video.
Yeah.
Yes, VHS video. That was the thing that came before the discs. Big chunky thing. You had to use a pen to rewind it if you took it out of the machine.
Yeah, you don't want to mess that up.
And you'd rent it, you'd watch it, and you'd go drop it back to them. That was Blockbusters. There we go.
And if you didn't drop it back, they would hunt your ass down.
Mate, those guys were brutal. You'd walk past the shop and there'd be a guy come and hook you in and go, oi!
Oh, yeah. You were here yesterday. Where's our film?
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. You took it out 12 days ago. You were only meant to have it for 10.
Yeah, you now own that film and you owe us £400. Yeah. There's something very nostalgic for me about that because I used to love going to those places. Like when you knew a new film came out and you'd think to yourself, I need to get there early because everyone's going to be rushing in there to get it and they'll have so many copies and stuff.
They've only got 9 copies of the new film. We must go there and see it.
Yeah, which is like a mad thing to try and describe to, Gen Z because they're looking at you like you're an idiot. But this is before broadband internet was widespread. So the internet was all on dial-up, which meant the idea of trying to watch a film online...
Oh my God, I would love to be able to put a sound in right now of the noise of a dial-up. Yeah.
Well, you didn't need to because you provided it beautifully, I might add.
I once tried to stream a video, a DVD thing, like movie, on like the old, what used to be the old internet.
Dial-up. Okay.
Like 7 days later, you're halfway through downloading a movie. It was amazing times.
It's no way to go. But technology moved on, and Netflix innovated massively. And one of the things they did, which caught at the time, now it sounds, wow, why did anyone let them do this? At the time, everyone thought they were mad, right? Netflix went to all of these major studios and said, oh, we're doing this platform for things like this, and we'd like to license here's a list of films. Now, the films they wanted to license were typically films from like the 70s, 80s, 90s, early 90s. And when you think about the way studios worked then, you'd have these films, they'd get cinematic release, they'd make their money. They'd then get a video or DVD release, they'd make some more money.
Yeah.
And then they typically license it around the world to different places to air at different times. And, you know, like, so in the UK, the BBC would get a few good films for Christmas that they've had to pay a license fee for from those
came
studios.
out 14 years ago. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. That was very BBC, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What, you want a modern film? No. We're on Jurassic Park 7. Well, we're showing you Jurassic Park 1 and you're going to love it.
On Christmas Day, I would. Yeah.
He would, yes. 100%. It's not a Christmas film. So we get to this point where Netflix have gone to all these people and said this, we want to license this. Would you believe if I told you that some of those studios early on didn't even charge them?
Amazing.
They literally were like,
go on then.
Yeah, what do you want it for? Oh, we're creating this online platform, we want people to be able to watch it, so we want to license it. Oh, all right, yeah, you can have it for 12 months, sure, see if anyone watches it, whatever. So Netflix built their platform with thousands and thousands of movies initially, and then someone at Netflix sort of went, well, there's a lot of old TV series like that is just being on repeats, and some of it's just like not even out anymore, and people might want to watch them. So again, they went back to all these now TV studios and were like, well, look, you've got all these shows that you've made that's just sat there, like, you're not making money anymore because they're not airing anymore. So these studios were like, yeah, all right, go on then, you know, if anyone watches them, like whatever, then we'll renegotiate, but yeah, sure, you can have them for 12 months and see. I think from the article I read before doing this show, it was roughly towards the end of year 2 of Netflix when all of the studios went, holy shit. And the reason why that happened is because a thing was created that before Netflix was not a term no one had ever heard of, and that's called binge watching.
I thought you were going to say Netflix and chill. Okay, binge watching. No. Yep, okay.
Mate, I think that just goes to show the very different places we are in our lives.
This term was never used before Netflix, but of course it wasn't. It's in the name.
Netflix and chill. Which obviously means you're going to watch a film and have an iced smoothie or something, right?
Ice cream.
That's what that means.
Chill.
Yeah,
chill ice cream. Yep.
It's exactly what that term means. But the whole thing, binge watch, if you like, you'll know this because you're of an age as well, that just didn't exist before streaming.
No.
Because you had no way to do it. I mean, you could buy hard DVDs. So, like, let's say a series is run for like 10 years. You've bought all the DVDs and you're sat there on a Saturday or something. You go, do you know what? I want to watch that show. And you watch one after another, binge watch. But the term didn't exist. That was just you on that day. Oh, I want to watch this show. And you're putting it on. When Netflix was there and all of a sudden you literally just had this button and you pressed it and, you know, a season of a show came on and it was like the next episode. Do you want to watch the next one? Do you want to watch the next one? I mean, they did have to put like a passive aggressive thing and it's like, are you still watching? Because like, we're going to keep playing them. Like, are you still there? Yes, I'm still here. And yes, I still want to watch this show from 40 years ago because it's making me laugh.
Yeah. Are you still watching?
Yeah.
Of course I am.
So
you keep giving me more episodes. Of course I'm still watching.
Yes, yeah, I am here. Feed me more content, Netflix, baby. Yes. What do you or who? And this is a funny one because I knew this, but then when I read it, like I'd forgotten. Like because there's now so many. Who was the first? Because there were other rivals and other people started trying to do it, but who was the first big rival to Netflix globally? And when I say it, you'll be like, "Oh yeah, of course it was." But I think you're doing the same as me because there's
I
so
think
many now.
Disney Plus came out way later,
Correct, yeah.
so it's not going to be that one.
Yeah. And that's the next one we're going to talk about because it's a fun story.
Is it Amazon?
Spot on, yeah.
Yeah.
So there were several people tried to mirror it. Several people tried to do it in different regions. Like, so in the USA, obviously, Netflix had dominated the US, then went global. And whilst Netflix was conquering the globe, a few people were like trying to mirror it in the US. Amazon, Jeff Bezos, etc., with the money they had, they realized, oh, wait a minute, we can create something the same as Netflix are doing. We can do something similar. So they did. They launched, and then what happened? You know, the streaming wars is because these studios were at that time kind of. Netflix had become so popular, these studios had gone from, yeah, right, have that, to Netflix, will you please show this old show? Because if we can get people interested in it again, you know, we can make money out of it again.
Yeah.
And so, but all of a sudden, Netflix were a bit like, yeah, but we'll only pay you this. You know, all of a sudden, Netflix was in charge, not like, you know, having to negotiate. When Amazon launched, of course, all of a sudden, all of these studios had a different company bidding for content.
Yeah.
So as a lot of people might, well, maybe you don't know, but Netflix in the USA, the library of content is incredible compared to the rest of the world.
Yes,
Because
I have heard this.
Because they tied in licenses for a long time whilst they had like a kind of monopoly. So they have got like the library of content. Like you go on Netflix USA and it's like, wow, that's on there. Wow, that's on there. It's insane. But globally, they were tied the license a little bit short, a little bit of negotiation. So when Amazon launched and their focus was global from day one,
Yep.
they were then negotiating for shows. And the thing that Amazon did, which then again kicked Netflix into another gear, was they were like, okay, we're also going to look to talk to studios about airing original shows. Like, first off, like, okay, we've got all these old things and old movies, but this studio wants to also create a show. They're not sure it fits on their network. We'll put it on our platform.
Yep.
And we'll give it, you know, so it's original. Netflix then, of course, kicked into gear, and you then started getting Netflix originals as well, and original series, original movies, which is now one of the big booming things for all of streaming, which we'll come on to. But the one I know you're going to like the most is what happened with Netflix and Disney. Do you know, I think you know a bit of this because I think we've talked about it before.
I know
But-
bits and pieces, but not masses.
So Disney, as we all know, is one of the Goliaths of companies in the world. You know, of all companies, Disney's a big company.
Oh, yeah.
In entertainment wise, they are probably the largest studio, powerful financial studio. You know, they bought Lucasfilm to own the Star Wars franchise. They bought Marvel Studios to own the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They have got the financial clout and power and just the sheer weight of content.
Brought out Fox not that long ago, and that was obviously a big...
Fox Television, massive amount of stuff. So the content that Disney has is insane. But at this particular moment, they were licensing their content to Netflix. You know, this particular moment, Disney, like every other studio before it, had licensed its content. But Disney had a little bit of a kind of ulterior motive in what they were doing. Disney were watching their content on Netflix, not thinking, oh, that's good, I'm glad it's doing well, and, you know, that's creating more interest for those things. They were watching it with a view of, we're going to buy Netflix. Which is, you know, which is very kind of massive business-esque kind of thing. Like, oh, I like that, I'm going to buy it. I always thought to myself, like, if I ever won, like, serious money on the lottery, I'd like to be one of those guys that, like, walks into a restaurant and be like, I like it here, I'm buying it. What would you like on the menu, sir? No, I'm buying the restaurant.
Yeah.
You're all fired, get out. You know, except for the chef. Bring me food. But it was very much like that. It was this thing. And they, approached Netflix with a few different things. Netflix kind of talked about it, but then backed off. There was like a negotiation for a little while.
Yeah.
Whilst
they
that was
realise
happening,
we're making enough money here. We don't need to.
well, what is interesting is I think at the time Netflix were actually kind of open to it. I think they were probably the people behind it and the people running it were like, this is a lot of money, and we all just get to go off and live our lives, and let's I think there was a lot of very serious consideration, because you got to remember, whilst these talks were happening, there were massive collaborations happening between the two studios, and the biggest one that me and you loved and talked about was the Marvel series that came to Netflix. So
Yes.
Daredevil, Luke Cage, that whole universe was all created in these initial negotiations, which were like, okay, we're going to collaborate as well. Because at that time, both parties, I think, thought, yeah, this is where we're going to go. Disney are going to buy us, like they have with other studios in the past. Netflix is going to remain Netflix, but part of Disney, and therefore these collaborations and stuff is going to become more and more.
Yep.
When Netflix kind of dug in on a price, which is, look, we're making X, we want this X plus Y to sell, and Disney weren't going to do that, things went sour very, very quickly, because Disney then tried to do what a lot of people do, and that is go for shareholding by buying up shares from other people in Netflix to create a position where they could basically force a hostile takeover.
Yeah.
Netflix, in one day, accumulated every share back. So Disney went from like, all right, fine, you're not going to sell us to the price we want. We're going to go hostile. It's going to get nasty. And Netflix were ready for it. And they had a buyback option in the share issue they'd done, and they executed it straight away.
You want our shares? Well, we have
Yeah.
all of them. No.
Basically, yeah. So Netflix did that to an amount that just basically meant it was never going to happen. They then told Disney to go themselves. Disney tried to negotiate a little bit longer. Netflix then cancelled every show on their platform that was from Disney Studios, including the Marvel collaborations.
Yeah.
Literally just cancelled them one after the other. And then, of course, Disney then gave notice for everything that was licensed from Disney on the Netflix platform would have to be removed when the current license expired. So it was kind of crazy. Like, these two massive companies then had this big falling out and this thing. But what came of that is that Disney were then backed into this corner of, well, we don't have a platform. We don't have a streaming platform. We thought all along we were just going to buy Netflix.
Yeah.
So they actually, so they actually purchased a streaming platform in the USA. Did you know this?
I did not know this.
They own Hulu.
I have heard of Hulu. Yeah.
Yes, which is a US-based streaming platform. One of the ones that kind of popped up in the wake of Netflix is kind of like a bit of a rival in the US, but didn't go global.
Yep.
When they purchased that, they didn't just purchase the platform and the content, etc. They also purchased the kind of the technology, which Disney then used and built on to create a new platform, which we all now know as Disney Plus.
Okay.
When Disney Plus launched,
Yep.
I looked at that and the price of it and the content library, and I immediately looked at that and went, I think they've won the streaming wars. Because
that first year was like £60 for the entire year or
Yeah.
something. It was incredible.
and when you think about, especially if you're a family, you got kids, the Disney library all being there, like, and I'm not just talking about the blockbuster animated films. I mean all of the run-off ones, which we all know are naff as hell, but young kids still love them. Like Aladdin 76, Jafar needs an eye test. Yay!
Yeah.
So, oh my god, are we still on this? That parrot's still talking? Jeez.
Someone shut the parrot up. Yeah.
Yeah. But my point is, all of it was there. Everything. All of these series, like Phineas and Ferb and stuff like that, was all on there.
What a show.
Brilliant show,
What a
which
show.
then of course reignited, because when you had COVID and lockdown, Phineas and Ferb found an entire audience again. And all of a sudden, they've renewed the show for more episodes. Like, there is a new series of Phineas and Ferb out now on Disney Plus. Now, what is kind of crazy about that launch was you think about it as well. Not only was it that Disney library, so I'm talking all of the classic films, all of the series, you know, for High School Musical, all of this stuff they've made for years, but also the entire Star Wars library in one place.
Yep.
The entire Marvel Cinematic Universe in one place.
And even for my little geeky self, National Geographic.
Do you know what? I was wondering if you were going to bring that up. Yeah.
All my animal shows. There they are. Yep.
Disney, to me, when I remember looking at it at the time, and I just sort of thought, I feel for Netflix here. Because they've not done the deal like Disney. And don't get me wrong, I was like, I'm Team Netflix here. You know, you're trying to lowball us. Go fark yourself.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, I'm now looking at this and I'm seeing the platform as like a rival. I'm like, oh man, this isn't going to work for you, Netflix. You've been done here. Netflix, as we know, has continued to thrive. They've created original content which they obviously realised as more and more studios were cottoning on to, streaming's the way to go. More and more of them were going to pull licenses like Disney did. So they went big into creating original content, which can only be viewed on Netflix.
Yes.
TV series like Stranger Things. That show entered a kind of stratosphere, which is unbelievable, really, if you think about like the sheer weight of it around the world. Now, the irony in me saying that to you is I think you're one of the few people who've never watched it.
Yeah.
Yes. Which is, I was like halfway through the sentence, I'm like, oh, Stranger Things phenomena, like everyone. Oh yeah, not you.
Not me. I watched one episode, went, I don't know, am I going to sit there and watch all of these the shows that I've missed? No. Nah, I might come back to it one day.
Yeah, well, I hope you do. When it's finished, maybe watch the whole thing.
Binge the lot, yeah.
The final season of that's like been forever waiting. The kids are now in their 30s. it's gonna be so.
It turns
weird.
out that actually, the whole series has to be rewritten again because they've aged so much.
Like you're gonna have one scene, like the end scene of last season, where this one kid stood there like, "Oh no, what are we gonna do?" And then like the first scene of this season, he's going to be stood in the exact same spot wearing the clothes that no longer fit him and a beard. Like, how long has that kid been stood there? You know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy. But what I mean is the original content they created then pushed Amazon to go heavy into original content. And it pushed Disney Plus that they thought, right, we also need to be making original content for this platform. Because if we don't, we're eventually people are going to be like, I've watched every Disney film, I've seen every Star Wars, I've seen everything. Yeah, maybe one or two new films get added every year, but meh, is it worth this? I don't know. So the original content was the next phase of the war, really. Those three, I'd probably say, were the three big players in pushing that. And then came a new powerhouse into the streaming platform. And I'm talking about Apple TV Plus.
Yes.
When you are a company the size of Amazon, for example, you could look at Netflix and go, yeah, we'll do that. you can do that. You have that power. What Apple obviously are in that kind of massive company range as well. From Apple Music to, Apple, the iPhones, iMacs, iPads, this, that, iWatch. Whoa, hang on, that sounded dodgy. Apple Watch. Do you think that's why they called it the Apple Watch and not iWatch? Because that sounds...
Yeah, iWatch just sounds a bit scary.
Yeah, that sounds like an original TV show on Netflix, by the way. Like, iWatch. Or stream all 8 episodes. I genuinely, when I heard Apple TV Plus, thought, well, that's one I'm never getting. Like, this is stupid now. Like, I've got Netflix, I've got Amazon, I've got Disney Plus.
Yeah, it got to the stage for me where I was a bit similar in the sense of, like, how how much content can I
Yeah.
actually physically watch? Like,
Yeah.
I've already got Netflix, I've got Amazon Prime, I've got Disney Plus,
Yeah.
I have YouTube.
Yeah.
Like-
yeah.
You know, I know YouTube's technically not the same streaming wars, but it's still streaming
Yeah,
content
yeah.
of such. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't need any more. Like, this is crazy now. Like,
Yeah.
how much content there is. And at the time, I wasn't really Apple at all. I think I had like an Android phone anyway.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I was Android for a very long time.
Yeah.
And
I
so
helped convert you to the dark
you
side.
did a bit. You did a bit. I now have an
Yeah.
iPhone,
Yeah.
and I think I have an iPad somewhere. But yeah,
That's how
I
I
was
gave it
like,
to you.
I don't need anything more.
Yeah. Yeah. I was the same. Then they hooked me with a free trial.
Yep.
So I got a new iPhone, and when I was setting it all up, I had this notification come up. So, with this iPhone purchase, you get 3 months for free of Apple TV. So I was like, oh, all right. Well, I'll see if there's anything on there. Like, okay. And I'm going through. I'm like, there's a couple of shows I sort of looked at. I thought, oh, maybe I'll watch that. Maybe I'll watch that. And it was my brother, who lives in Norway. So we kind of like we try and talk like once a week, once every other week. And he said to me, so have you got Apple? And I was like, well, funnily enough, actually, I've just got this free trial. And he went, oh, there's a show on there called Ted Lasso. You need to watch it. I went, mate, I remember this because Ted Lasso was a comedy character created around my football club that I love, Tottenham Hotspur, where he was like a kind of joke US football, American football coach trying to coach soccer in the UK. It was a funny little skit, and I'm like, yeah, they've made a series out of the joke. It's I'm not really that interested. And he was like, you have to watch it. It is the best thing anywhere right now. It is like a show. It is just perfect. You have to watch it. So I really begrudgingly, and I mean like really kind of like, oh, I've got nothing else to watch. I've got this for free for like another month or whatever. I'll put it on. I'll see what it's about. Like, and then at least I can tell him, yeah, I put it on. It was crap, you know. That was genuinely my attitude going into it.
Yep.
I watched the entire season 1 in a day and a half. Like it was like one of those shows. It was like 2 a.m, and I'm like, I really want to watch the next one, but I know I also have to be up in 4 hours to work.
Yep.
But
It
watch
hooks
the
you.
next one. I loved it. It hooked me in a way a TV show hadn't hooked me in a while. And it was just full of fun characters, stuff that made me laugh, stuff that had emotional impact. The show was amazing. And I finished that, and then I was like, all right, well, what else is on here then? And we did a show where I basically waxed lyrical about Apple TV, which you can go back and find in our ye olde show archive. But for the purpose of this one today, Apple is basically purely original content. They came into the market on the basis of like, okay, all this stuff all around the world's licensed here, there, and everywhere. We are going to create our own shows and build our own library, which basically meant
was a heck of a move. Like, that's a
really
real
is,
kind of
yeah.
like power move.
it's a real boss move. And then you look at the content library that they've built, and one of the things that they're doing, which a lot of other streamers don't, is they're allowing shows to build. So one of the big things on streaming, and Netflix especially, is they will look cold-heartedly 100% at the figures for a season and will just cancel a show no matter what if it doesn't hit certain metrics. There
Yes.
have been some shows that I've watched, you've watched, that are like a season 1 of a show, and everyone around the world's watched it and gone, that's really good, I hope they make more. And Netflix have gone, 20 people watched this less than another show that was slightly cheaper, so yeah, we're panning it.
Yes.
They don't
And you're
allow
kind of like, no!
yeah, and they don't allow stuff to build. Apple came in with this kind of philosophy of, look, we are going to spend money on this. We want to get a market share. We are going to allow shows. So, like, okay, this is a concept of a show. We are going to give you 2-3 seasons. Go and make it.
Yeah.
Under safe, you've got the safety. we're not going to announce it like on day one you've got 3 seasons, but you have.
Yeah.
So that way, not only were Apple able to create content which was allowed to tell their story, like, okay, we've got this story mapped out, we're going to tell it in full, we know what we're doing, they also were able to produce shows that came out each year. Or, in the case of a show called Slow Horses, which is phenomenal, but is a 6 episode per story show, they're getting them 1 or twice a year.
Oh, wow.
That show is already up to like season 4 that it's aired, and has been renewed up to season 7 already. Like that show.
I mean, that's
so
dedication. That's commitment.
It is, and it's commitment that doesn't exist on the other platforms.
No,
like,
you
none
look
of it.
at some platforms, and like you just said about the Stranger Things,
Yeah.
like you're waiting a couple of 2 to 3 years
Oh, mate, it's
for a
it's gonna
season.
be-
Lord of the Rings on Amazon.
yes, that's 2 years minimum.
That's 2 years minimum. Now, don't get me wrong. The show itself has got like movie budget per episode and the sort of visuals that absolutely blow you away.
Yeah. But it's a long ass time to wait.
But I can't remember what happened in the last season, 2 years later.
No.
And that's where I think the streaming wars is going to be kind of won eventually. I think it's going to
could
be a
be,
case of who can churn out. No, churn out's the wrong word. Who can produce the best quality content there is, but do it in a time frame that actually keeps people engaged.
It's a commitment thing as well, isn't it? Where like a studio saying, okay, yeah, we're going to greenlight your show, you've got a season, and you say you're on Netflix and you got that, you must have in the back of your mind, oh my god, like we need to hit this to get a season 2. Like,
Yep.
I would almost approach a season, like if I get a season order on Netflix, I would almost approach that as that's all I've got. Do you know what I mean? That is the level of cancellation that Netflix is. On Amazon, I'd probably think I got a bit more of a chance, but still a bit ropey.
It depends on how much the boss likes my genre.
Yeah. Jeff, buddy, hey, love the new wife. No, not a thing to say. Okay, crap. Whereas you then go across to Disney Plus, and it is a crapshoot, man. It is just what, Disney have got their own problems, which is a completely different issue around woke and people deeming anything on the Disney platform that even like, oh look, this is my friend and she has a girlfriend, and people just immediately go, no, the show is woke, it's crap.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
they didn't help themselves with Snow Latin. Like that didn't help themselves.
They have not helped themselves at all.
In many things.
That is a different conversation. But what I mean is like if you are a creator of a show and Disney Plus are like, yeah, we want to do this, but Apple come along and go, hey, actually we want your show. Right now, they're the only people I'm talking to.
Oh god, yeah. You know full well at the moment what's happening at Disney. No matter what you do, you're gonna get labelled somewhere.
So let's
Apple
just take
TV
a show.
are going to offer me a guaranteed 3 seasons. Let the show grow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
I'm
take
down
a
there.
show on Apple TV called Shrinking.
Amazing show.
You take that show with that ensemble of characters and all the different issues they're facing, put that on Disney Plus, people are calling that woke crap.
For days. Yep.
You put that on Apple TV, and it is a funny sitcom with heart like Scrubs, like back in the day, and it's made by the same people, unsurprisingly.
It is.
And it's made by the same people behind Ted Lasso. It is a phenomenal TV show, but on a different platform, I don't think it keeps going. I think that show dies. So again, like there is this really interesting thing around original content right now, because there are creators, people write in TV all the time, people write in films all the time, and like Apple have created them, have done it differently. It has cost them a lot of money. Like they have spent more than a lot of the other studios. You're gonna have to ignore Amazon because their spend has been somewhat inflated due to one particular passion project of their owner. But
Yeah.
you compare Apple to the others, and the original content spend is right up there. And when you consider Netflix puts billions into original content every year, Disney Plus are doing the same. Amazon are doing crazy numbers, but most of it's on one show. I can't emphasize that enough. But
Yeah, you
Apple
have to kind of
TV
understand that is like his favourite thing ever.
Yeah.
So therefore, he has basically given the people.
I do-
Here is a blank checkbook.
Yeah,
Make
literally
something
what
I'm
he
going
did.
to enjoy.
Yeah, literally what he did. Bought the rights to it and was like, I will pay whatever. Yeah, well, we can make it for this. No, you don't understand. I will pay whatever. And that both depresses and also kind of, yeah, I'd probably do the same thing.
If there was something that I had just an absolute mad passion for,
Yeah,
and I won unlimited money,
yeah.
would I turn up to a studio and go, make me it?
I mean, I'd also love to think I'd do some nice charity work too, but I'd also make the show I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd do both. Yeah, we could do both.
But this is
Yeah.
why me and you will never win the lottery, because we actually would help people having
Yes.
won the lottery. And that is the reason
Yes,
we will never win it.
yes. Yes, that is the official party line for anyone listening. I am a nice person sometimes, despite the rumours. So the streaming wars, between them, it's become an almighty battle. Now you can add in countless others. There's Paramount Plus. There's HBO Max, which was called HBO and then just Max and then HBO Max and now it's HBO Max again. 'Cause
They're confused, aren't they? Let's be
they
honest.
are, bless them. Now, they basically built their streaming platform off of Game of Thrones, and the final season of Game of Thrones nearly broke them, their platform, because the amount of people that went, nope! They've been bringing it back with House of the Dragon and other shows and stuff, and
I'll make you
I
laugh.
think-
I had a client come into work, this is true, yesterday,
yeah.
and he had a I drink and know things top on.
Oh, okay.
And I was
Yeah,
like,
sure.
oh, I love that top, love the show
Yeah.
and stuff. He went, oh, yeah. And we started chatting generally about the show.
Yeah.
You know, so what did you think of the last season? He went, no, just no. Just no. I was like,
It is
are you one of the
funny, though.
people that likes to pretend it finished on season 7? Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was it.
It is funny though. But what I mean, there's so many services out there now. I think the interesting thing is, and this is the thing I want to kind of end the show on. There's like a kind of something for everyone to think about is, as consumers, mate, I'm going to ask you, do you think we're better off now than where we were before streaming platforms?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think we're better off financially now?
No, because you're having to pay out for so many different
Yeah.
things now.
So back in day, you had network television. So in the UK, that's BBC, ITV, etc. In the US, countless channels. And then you had in the US cable, and in the UK you had Sky. I know cable exists stuff, and you had different options. But these are the kind of like the platforms you had, which opened up multiple channels and all these different content. You still have to have those. Like in the UK, you still have to have a TV license. You still have to have, to have a TV, you have those channels, that access to it. You want to get a greater access to content like sports and things like that. You need the Sky package and everything like that. You then now also have, and I'm just going to use the UK pricing. So if you're around the world, apologies for this, but like Netflix, let's say you want to be able to stream it on a few devices because they're kids and stuff. That's like £10 a month. You got Disney Plus around the same. You got Apple TV coming up towards the same soon. You got Paramount Plus. That's a couple of quid. You got, if you want to get the HBO stuff, which then comes via Sky, you need to pay the add-on for Sky for the entertainment package.
Yep.
You see where I'm going with this? Like the cost keeps going up and up and up. And all of these studios and everything, rather than licensing their content now, are creating their own streaming platforms. So Paramount Plus, for example, you go there, their library of content is obviously all Paramount Studios productions. But also you've got a lot of stuff on there which they're then creating originals. And there's some decent originals to it. But again, what they're doing by creating these originals that are good is like, let's say Paramount Plus has a TV show which is phenomenal. Like, you know, well, it's worth getting that just to watch that show.
Yep.
Similar to what Apple did with Ted Lasso and a few others originally. You then have this situation where it's like, okay, well, I'm paying Netflix to have access to this show. That's costing me like so much a month. I'm paying Disney Plus to have access to these shows. All of a sudden, we are all paying a lot more, and they're also starting to do sly little things like, oh, you're paying £7 a month, so we're going to add adverts, something which we all accepted wasn't part of streaming.
Oh, this drives me insane.
Unless you pay a little bit more. Like, so we're going to create an advertising tier to make it more accessible to people. No, that's crap.
No, and the worst bit is so, as this is just example figures. You spent the last 2 years paying $7.99 for that service.
Yeah.
Well, now $7.99 gives you adverts, but $11.99 gives you no adverts.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, you've not made it more accessible to anyone because it's the same damn price I've been paying.
Yep.
You're just asking for an extra £3 to £4 out of me so that I don't get... Even YouTube has started doing this.
Yeah.
You can now sign up to YouTube Premium and not have adverts.
I'm going to say something now which is really controversial.
Mm-hmm.
There was a show called Cobra Kai which originally debuted on YouTube because YouTube was trying to join the streaming wars.
Yeah.
To access it, you had to join YouTube Premium.
Yep.
So I joined to watch Cobra Kai. That was 8 years ago. Having a service of YouTube with no adverts, I am still paying it. And it's terrible. I constantly judge myself that I am paying so much per month just to avoid 30-second ads. But, mate,
I bet it makes a difference.
I can't go back. I can't. I like every now and again, like my daughter's with me and she'll go to load something on YouTube and it's like, oh, I've got to wait for an advert, and I'm like, peasant.
I don't.
Don't worry, we'll load it on my account because then we don't have to sit through this. Yeah.
You're one of those.
Oh, mate, it's so like, and that's such a first world jackass thing. And then like, but it's so funny because Cobra Kai then went to Netflix.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm still paying for this. And I was like, oh, I should cancel it. I literally went to it, and then a little thing came up and went, oh, you know, if you cancel this, that's fine. Within 7 days, and obviously you'll then see adverts again. And I literally went, ooh, maybe this isn't, maybe this. I mean, basically, it's like the equivalent of me going to a pub and it's 2 pints per month. Like that's not money I'm going to miss, and I'm not going to the pub anymore. I'm going to sit and watch YouTube, so it's all good. That's how I rationalised it.
I like it. I like that's how you went into that properly. I like that.
Yeah. I really, and yeah. So anyway, that's that. That's terrible. But financially, it feels like they've now created these monopolies where, yeah, you love our content, you love this, brilliant. Okay, we're putting the price up again. We're putting the price up again, and we're going to keep doing it. And interesting statistic, when Netflix dominated everything, piracy on the internet of movies, TV shows, fell globally by 80%.
Oh, wow.
Like, literally, piracy as a problem online vanished because content was available.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's a pain in the ass to pirate. Like, oh, Netflix is what, $5? That's split between me and a few friends because we're going to password share it. Brilliant.
Not anymore.
Once they cracked down on password sharing, which again, by the way, was a Disney Plus thing that kicked it off.
Yeah.
And they've all done it, and they've all kept adding prices, and they've all now adding adverts if you don't pay more and stuff. piracy now is at its highest ever level. The streaming platforms have basically created their own problem again. Where people have gone, do you know what? It's too much. There's too many platforms. It's too much money. So therefore, I'm going to get a Fire Stick. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to use this. And now these big platforms are going to authorities in each individual country around the world, in the UK, and are demanding governments do stuff about these illegal Fire Sticks and these streaming services. You know, these platforms should be banned from your internet and things.
Yeah.
Rather than actually looking at it and going, oh, if we allowed password sharing again, or if we actually stopped being greedy bastards by putting adverts into things and stuff, we actually solved the piracy issue. Like, streaming had solved it. And now they've brought it back with an absolute vengeance.
Crazy, isn't it?
They
had
crazy.
the solution, they made the change, and then they fucked it.
Yeah, but that's it. So streaming wars, I think, is less now about the platforms battling each other, because they all seem to be in sync now. Oh, Netflix are going to raise their price? All right, we'll all do it then.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? It's now become a bit of a thing where they're all just helping each other and just like, okay, we've all got our own content, we've all got our own niches. There's certain studios still making stuff that we can all license. Like, I'll have it for a year, you can have it for a year, you know, and this kind of thing. And then, yeah.
All right, I've got a question for you.
Okay, bring it.
You know the whole, snog, marry, avoid thing they used to do? Yeah?
Okay, yeah.
So keep, renew, suspend, delete.
Yeah. So suspend would mean what?
Like, you've paused it. You've not deleted it as a system.
Yeah.
But it's not the one you're subscribed to right now. Okay, renew is the one that you're definitely keeping, and delete is you're getting rid of their entire platform content. Everything's gone.
Man, that's tough. Okay, all right. So let's.
And then obviously I've realised we've named like 4 places, so at least one of them is just floating in the abyss somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, there's loads, but I mean, if I'm gonna, yeah, the thing is, the platform that I use the most is arguably one of the ones that I like the least in terms of the company. But Disney Plus, I'd think, would have to be the one I hit renew on, because the Star Wars library, the Marvel library, like, if I'm alone, I'm doing stuff, I like to put those films on that I know, like, literally, and obviously my daughter, even though she's a teenager now, still will quite happily throw, like Hercules or The Princess and the Frog on or something when she's with me. So
2 of my favourite movies. Good choices.
Great films. So I'd have to keep that one. So that's renew. Suspend, I guess it'd have to be. See, I'm gonna be controversial. I suspend Amazon and I delete Netflix, purely because Netflix have pissed me off by cancelling so much really good stuff, and also the only show on there I absolutely love is Stranger Things, and it's taken them like 3 years to get a new season, which is ridiculous.
You have just deleted Stranger Things from existence.
Yeah. I think I've waited so long. I'll just stick with the memory of what it was. Yeah. What about you?
So yeah, I'm renew Disney.
Yeah.
I
guess similar reasons.
Similar sort of reasons. Yeah, 3 kids and being a Disney geek myself. Yeah. And Marvel and Star Wars and National Geographic. Yep. Disney stays.
Yeah.
I am suspending Apple TV.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I'm keeping it around.
Yeah.
Because I will get, a new free trial when the next Ted Lasso or whatever Shrinking comes out.
Yep.
And I'm deleting Amazon Prime.
Oh, The Boys.
It's The Boys were there, but then...
Yeah.
Or is it... See, Netflix... Actually, that's a good point. I think I would change it to Netflix. I don't remember the last thing I actually watched on Netflix.
Yeah.
I know my wife watches like Gilmore Girls and some other bits and pieces on Netflix.
What is it with that show?
I don't know. The wife loves it. The problem is she's watched it about 30 freaking times.
Yeah, I don't get it.
She keeps me watching it. But anyway, I probably... yeah, it's difficult. I would say Netflix. Okay, The Boys has just saved Amazon.
Good. I'm glad. For everybody listening, get in touch with us. Let us know your thoughts, your favourite streaming platform, one that you could happily do without. You can get in touch via the socials, which we mentioned at the start of the show. You can also email Sam at stuffandthangspodcast.com. You can get in touch via the website and the contact form. You can also contact us via your podcast app, which I know a lot of people like to do via Pandora. That is our show. That was the Streaming Wars. I hope everyone thought that was fun. I don't know where that's going to go with all the streaming platforms. I feel like we've all been kind of over a bit of a barrel for a while, and I just feel like maybe the sheer weight of people becoming frustrated might force some of these companies to have to rethink some of their plans. I saw in Q1 of 2025, 700,000 subscribers left Disney Plus, which is the largest unsubscribe of any platform since streaming began in one quarter.
That's a big amount.
Yeah, that is a massive loss of income.
Yeah.
And they need to work out why, and quickly. And I would guarantee you it's to do with the fact that even on the top tier of paying on there, you now have adverts at the start of every show. Even though it's advertising other content and you can hit the skip button, it is very, very annoying.
Yes.
But that's just me. Anyway, thank you everybody for listening. We will be back next week, and when we are back, we will be discussing time travel in TV and films. When it's good, when it's bad, when it's just downright ugly. That's next week. One of the things I wanted to promote as well is we're thinking every 10 episodes of the show in the new format, we're actually going to pass it over to the audience. So we're coming up with topics and questions to discuss. So we're going to throw it over like a Q&A. Is there things like that you've seen that you want to talk to us about? Is there questions you want to ask us, which is always terrifying? You can get in touch.
Goes one or two ways normally, yeah.
Yeah. And it's not the way I ever think it's going to go. You can get in touch via, probably best to do that via email. So that's sam@stuffandthangspodcast.com. Title your email questions, and then we will address those probably every 10 episodes. So episode 10, we'll do the first one, and we'll see where we go from there. But that's it. That's our show. Thank you so much for everybody for listening. I'm going to say goodbye, and I'm going to leave you with Stefan with his final thought.
The question for you this week is, does a straw have one or two holes?
Thank you for listening to the Stuff and Things podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. You can find us on Facebook or online. Simply search the Stuff and Things podcast to join in our conversation every week.